I'm just, curious just what your reaction was to the sell-off yesterday and to the extent that you'd be a buyer in this market. I do think there are people who say, okay, maybe if I'm going to be a long-term holder, these are good prices. But, you know, you heard some of our other guests earlier today. They think this is a one-way road and it's going down.
You know, I wish I had a clear crystal ball. You know, I was shocked by the action yesterday, particularly after it tailed the action the day before. And I've actually been on the program several times last weeks and months, actually fairly anti-tech, even though I'm known to be a tech investor. But I do think there are some good opportunities because we're now at the end of quarterly reporting season. So I've heard enough. And when I say I heard enough, I've also considered the obvious macroeconomic variables. And I wouldn't go all in tech, but I would go some in tech. And I think there are some interesting ideas that could be bought here and now.
Give us some of those ideas, because I'm sure there are some folks licking their wounds this morning. They may have some cash on the sidelines and they're saying, do I hold on to my cash or do I actually try to put it in this market right now?
So I'd put a bit into the market. I'd go in slowly, but I think there's a couple of interesting growth names. Arista Networks, Advanced Micro Devices showed me a hell of a lot. I'd even buy some Tesla. And even though it's only a $3 billion market cap stock, it was up 17% yesterday on its report versus a negative tape, and that's Silicon Motion, SIMO.
Did you say you'd buy some Tesla?
I actually would. I actually think that the growth is very interesting. And I do know you would never buy Tesla with any kind of valuation metric. Never had, never would. But I actually do think it would be on my list of select, let's call them not necessarily tech, but techish names to buy here.
Gunjan, what are you hearing from investors, the hedge fund class, if you will, private equity? We were talking about just the marks that are taking place in that space, in that they have not been marked down. But how are you? You know, what is the prevailing view about whether there's opportunity here or not?
Thanks, Andrew. I mean, this is an incredibly challenging environment for many investors. We have not seen stocks and bonds fall simultaneously like this in decades, and data going back to the 1970s. So I think this is a really tough environment for investors that I've been speaking with to navigate. And I think one challenge is that if you bought the dip earlier this year, if you looked to the FANG stocks and you tried to buy those at a discount earlier this year, you've gotten burned. You know, even some of the biggest tech names are sitting on huge losses for the year. Think about Bill Ackman's Pershing Square, you know, where he bought Netflix after last quarter's earnings results, and it ended up, you know, sorely disappointing after the recent quarter's earnings results, and he took a loss on that investment. So I think stepping in even to find these discounts can be challenging.
How much forced selling do you think was happening yesterday? Gunjan?
Look, I think yesterday's move was incredibly puzzling to so many traders I was speaking with, to see that huge drop right after we saw that post-Fed rally. And I think that highlights some of the uncertainty out there, where we're seeing moves that we have not seen since 2020 when the pandemic was first sweeping through the U.S. So I think it just highlights, a lot of that uncertainty, where we're seeing moves we haven't seen since the financial crisis, since COVID.
Paul, what's your sort of just macro take on which way this market is headed? Are you of the view that this is going to be a very choppy, if not rough road downwards, like so many of other guests? Or are you of the view that, you know, Warren Buffett always likes to say, when stuff is lower, you know, people freak out, but that's when you're supposed to buy it?
I'm in the latter camp. The way I look at it is we're not going to see these troubles go away. Some of these are multi-year lasting. But if you can show me a couple of months where we at least have decelerating, still up, but still decelerating inflation. We've already had the Fed put out their very aggressive hawkish roadmap for raising rates for the next year or two. That is already out there. And if we get any whiff of any easing of the action in the Ukraine, I actually think we can trigger a rally. Now, that being said, I don't expect it today. I don't expect it tomorrow. And I expect a hell of a lot of near-term volatility, but I still would. Don't put all your money to work. Start to put some of your money to work now.